Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Today is Tuesday, April the 13th, 2021. So I'm not going to be before you long. I'm going to jump right into the video. I want to come on here and wish everyone a wonderful day. And I want to encourage you all to continue to have hope and faith, okay? Continue no matter what situation you are facing on a daily basis, whether it's something that you've been going through for a while or it just happened, or it's unexpected. Today could be unexpected, and you need to have hope for situations to change, okay? You can hope for good things. It don't have to be, well, most of the time when you hope, you should be hoping for good things. Some people do hope for bad things. They hope that something happens to someone. They hope that this happens to someone. They hope for your demise. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having hope for things to change for the better, you know, in your life. Think about everything that's going on in the world right now with all the racisms, the fighting, and with all the deaths from the coronavirus, and people are still being laid off. They're homeless people. It shouldn't just be for you. Hope should affect the world. It should affect the world. We should hope that the world gets better, that the world becomes a better place. We already know that it takes each individual that's on this planet to come together for the world to be a better place. And we already know without a shadow of a doubt that that's just not going to happen, okay? You have some evil people out here, some wicked people who just do not want things to change. They don't care. And the other day in one of my videos, I was saying that you should not judge a person by what they're doing, because God speaks to the spirit, right? And a lot of times they could have hope for things to change in their lives, but they just don't know how to get the change. They don't know how to manifest that change, okay? And some people just become hopeless. They don't have any hope because things just don't seem to be getting any better. But no matter what, you need to hold on to hope. That gives you the drive to keep going, to keep pushing. Now there's no reason to have hope and think that things are just going to change on its own. You have to have some kind of motivation behind it, okay? I'm going to read a definition here that they were saying this is what hope actually means. It says, what is the real meaning of hope? Hope seems close to wish, to cherish a desire with anticipation. Okay, you're waiting, you're excited for this thing to happen, for this desire to come true, okay? To want something to happen or be true. Whatever the details, hope in general means a desire for things to change for the better and to want that better situation very much, okay? It says here, a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. And it gives an example. He looked through her belongings in hope of coming across some information. Okay? That's what happened to me the other day. I was looking for some information, and I just had hope and expectation. I was sure I would find this paperwork. I looked through paperwork all the way back to 2003. And I'm looking for information that I need for 2018. I found everything else but what I needed. My hope was dashed because I'm like, what did I do with this information? If I have information from 2003 every year up until 2018, what happened? I was hoping. And I couldn't wait to get home in anticipation of finding this and being able to solve what I need to solve with this document, So just go and be hopeful. No matter what the situation is, just be hopeful. You have to hold on. You have to have something to hold on to in these days and times because they are rough. They're hard out here. Things are happening every day. You don't know what you're going to come across, and you have to have some hope that things will get better. If you're just a hopeless person, you feel like things are not going to get better, then 9 times out of 10, they won't. And a lot of times when you're hoping for one certain thing and it doesn't happen that way, sometimes happen for the best when it don't happen the way you wanted it to happen. You know, sometimes we are hoping for something, we really, really want it, and we think this is what we want. Oh God, I'm hoping and praying that I get this particular job. I'm hoping and praying that, you know, I get this particular car, and you wind up getting another job that's better than what you were hoping for, and you wind up getting another car that's better and more awesome than what that you wanted in the first place. You know, sometimes you can think, well, I really want to be in this relationship with someone. I'm hoping and praying it works out, and it doesn't work out. And when you step back and you look, you say, I'm hoping for something against all odds, but it takes two. And if you're putting in all the hope and all the effort and all the work, and the other person is sitting by just dragging on your coattail, you're hoping for the wrong thing. You have to hope for empowerment and betterment. It should not be for something that's wrong. I have heard a lot of people say, I remember one time I was working with I had two co-workers, okay, female. One girl desired to get married. She hoped to get married. Every time she got a boyfriend, she was hoping this was the one. I'm going to get married. I want to get married. Another girl met a guy. It was only one guy. She had went through a divorce. She met a new guy, became girlfriend and boyfriend. They got married. Okay. The other girl that was hoping and had a desire to get married said, I hope her marriage fails. I hope they get a divorce. She was hoping for the wrong thing. Instead of saying congratulations, I know that there's someone out there for me, because there's someone for everybody. There's someone. I may not like who you like, but there's someone for everyone. It doesn't matter whether he or she meets my expectations for me, they should meet yours. You know, it shouldn't matter. It's someone for everyone. But she hoped that the girl's marriage crumbled. You know, years down the line, the girl's marriage did take a turn for the worse. They broke up, they divorced. She was elated. She was like, I'm glad they broke up. I've never been married before. Don't hope for things to happen to someone that is wrong. Always hope for something to happen that's right. You know, I'm not saying that you need to hope that somebody gets married when you want to get married, but if they do, then you need to congratulate them and try to be hopeful that this will happen to you in your future if this is what you want to happen. If someone gets that new job, don't hope they get fired. This same individual hope that when people would get promotions or whatever, that they would get fired, that they would lose their job, you know, things like that. And you just don't do stuff like that. That's a selfish individual and a selfish, self-serving person. You don't want to be like that. You always want to hope for the best out of your life. And like I said, as the world as a whole, you know, I hope that people come together and stop killing each other. You know, I hope and I pray that, you know, people realize that racism is wrong. You know, I hope and I realize and I hope and I pray that, you know, starvation would end in the world. You know, I hope and I pray that children would stop being abused and animals would stop being abused and people would just come together in love. You can hope it. You can hope. You can have hope for anything that's good. You know, I hope that I get this scholarship while I'm in college. You know, I hope that I'm able to purchase this new house with my family. I hope, God, that I get married. You know, I'm praying and I'm believing, I'm having faith and I'm hoping. You have to have something to go on to drive you. If you're hopeless, a lot of people that's hopeless, they commit suicide. They turn to drugs. They start drinking. You know, they become, you know, just wild and promiscuous and out there because they hopeless. You know, I knew a girl in high school, and I'm 54. I knew a girl in high school. We were in the 9th grade in New York. I grew up in Brooklyn. She was beautiful, had nice, pretty hair, pretty skin, you know. She was just pretty. And she was going with one of the freshmen. We were all freshmen. She was going with a guy. I'll never forget it. His name was Russell. I'm not going to mention her name, but his name was Russell. And he was brown skinned with hazel eyes. You know, he just one of the cool guys. You know, everybody liked Russell. And she got Russell, okay? Russell liked another girl, but the girl didn't like Russell. She was pretty. The girl didn't like Russell. She was on the dark skin side, my side. She had nice hair, but she was on the side of my complexion. The other girl was on the side of Beyonce complexion. She didn't look like Beyonce. She was pretty, but she had that complexion. And then the other girl had my complexion. Russell went with the one that had the lighter complexion. He was a lighter complexion, but he liked the darker complexion girl. But the darker complexion girl would not date Russell, okay? That girl that Russell wound up going with, you know, she was in love with him. I think that was her first love. Well, Russell one day pulled her over to the side in the stairwell. We all was waiting for her outside of the stairwell. When she came back out, she walked past us. She was in a state of shock, okay? Russell had broken up with her. We were in the 9th grade. Russell had broken up with her. The very next day, she didn't come to school, and it went on and on. I went by her apartment to check on her because we normally would go to school together, and she wouldn't come to the door. So finally, when I did see her, I said, when you come back to school? She was like, well, I've been sick, you know, so I'm coming back. She came back for one day. Come to find out, she had started playing hooky. She was so devastated that this young man had broken up with her. She was so hopeless, and that she would never get another boyfriend, and that she was not worthy of anyone's love because of this 9th grade guy took his affection elsewhere. She was just hopeless and helpless. She started smoking. She started playing hooky every day, and she just became a hopeless person, you know, like, I would never find anybody else. And we would talk to her and say, well, you will find another boyfriend. Russell ain't the only boyfriend, you know, later for Russell. It's other guys out there that like you. No, they don't want me, you know. So we don't know what Russell said to her in that stairwell, but she just became a hopeless person. And she wound up getting pregnant really young and just disappearing. I moved to North Carolina when I was turning 17. So at that time, I was 14? And I don't know what happened to her. I haven't seen her again. I just know she became a different person. She did not think that she would ever be loved by another man. So whoever she got pregnant. So I think she became promiscuous because she started sleeping around and smoking and hanging out because of this one person. And you have to know that things don't always work out in your favor the way you want it. And it could just be for the best, because the whole time that Russell was with her, he was liking the other girl. Because we were all in class together, me, him, and the other girl that he really liked, and he would be all over her. And my girlfriend, who he was going with, I would see this and I would tell her, but she still just was like caught up into him, caught up in the rapture of love, that she just dismissed what I said until he broke up with her. And she just became this hopeless person, like she just did not have any life left in her because of the affection that she had for this young man. You know, we were all kids, you know. So I'm saying, have something to hold on to. Try to remain hopeful, you know. Try to remain positive and have courage, you know. And that the things that you are wanting that are right and they are within God's plan and his will, that, you know, they manifest in your favor, you know. And then remember that if it doesn't, then you remember that, remember that if it doesn't, then you know that God had another purpose and something else is out there that's better for you, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to say vielen Dank. That's thank you very much in German. So vielen Dank for watching me, and choose, that's what? That's bye in German.